Good morning and welcome back to Tarot Tats and Tea, and I hope you're sitting there with your morning cup of coffee. It is quite early here, and I'd say it's nearly, well, about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Let's have a look. Oh, it's 20 to 8 in the morning. Been up for an hour or so, so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go and share my tarot deck with my YouTube friends and family. Now, what's arrived? Many of you who might have seen or backed the TAROCCHI by Mr Friborg. This arrived on my door last night, and I think it must have been subcontracted out to private drivers because it was like a drop and run. So, and into a private car and off they went. And it's not that it went to the wrong house, it came to the right house, but we have these subcontractors who use their own cars and just seem to, as quick as they can, fly down your drive, drop the parcel on. Sometimes you're lucky to get a knock on the door, sometimes you're not, and they run. On the one occasion I was sitting in my sitting room and I could hear a noise in my hallway, and I thought, what on earth is that? And I went up to have a look, and your man had opened the door and fired my parcel in, and he was travelling down my hallway. I'm just lucky that didn't happen last night. Anyway, back to the deck. This parcel arrived and I thought, what on earth is this? Because albeit I've been expecting this for some time now, it finally arrived last night. And I have the vintage edition of the TAROCCHI, okay, by Mr Friborg. Now, I will give you a heads up straight away, is that the print is exceptionally small. So this says here, a new classic TAROCCHI vintage by Mr Friborg, and I worked that out with the help of my little tortoise friend. Now, great to have a magnifying glass, but when it's as bulbous as that, it distorts everything. So, as you can see, so I've asked for one for Christmas, a nice magnifying glass, so that will be coming in use in the new year. Now, let's get back to the deck. First of all, the box. It's a very sturdy flip-top box, and I have to say it is nice and sturdy. There's nothing cheap and nasty about it. The box is textured, and you can feel the texture on the inside. Right, you can just see it there, but on the outside, when you look at it and you hold it in the light, don't know if this will work here, but the textures, when you look at them at the back here, form little skulls. The sort of imprint forms a little skull, and I don't think you'll see that on here, because at first I thought it was just almost like a raised pattern on the box that had no form, until I just happened to be looking at it in the light and I could see these little skulls. It could be my imagination, but that's what it looks like to me. They could be flowers, they could be skulls, they could be a combination of both. But it's just around the top here and around the bottom here at the front. The front's all textured too, and it's actually quite nice. I quite like it. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll be able to see these under this magnifying glass. No. Oh, hold on. Yeah, little skulls. Wow. See if I can get you to see them there. Let me see if I can do that for you. Get the light right. Nope. That's not going to happen for us, is it? Ah, hold on. There, you can see a white one there. So, little things please little minds, as they say. But this is the box. I love the colours of it, and it does have that sort of oldie worldy feel about it. The deck comes with this book. Okay, it's a nice little grey covered book, and again I had to use the magnifying glass, and it says the same that's on the box, a new classic and TAROCCHI by Mr Friborg. The contents page is on the inside, and we have quite an interesting contents, and they are as follows. Dear Reader, and then Dear Aspiring Reader. Then we have high and low polarity. Pulls and spreads. 1 card pull, 2 card pull, 3 card spread. Meaning of the major arcana, meaning of the minor arcana. Coins, cups, swords and staves, and oracle card meanings. So have we got oracle cards in here? I don't think we have. Let's have a look. So the print, I don't even know if I'm going to try and use the magnifying glass for this. I'm going to have to wait till my new one comes through, because that's going to be very, very arduous using this one, because it just distorts everything, as I said. So little tortoise, you're nice as an ornament, not so great as a magnifying glass, sorry. Anyway, let's get to the cards. What I will do after Christmas, if I do get my magnifying glass, I'll have a read of these and come back with some of the meanings, okay, or some of the information. The cards, here we go. It's a nice size deck, okay, standard tarot deck size. Those are the backs. They're very much like a playing card back. Ah, there you go, look here. Skulls. So that's the design that's on the box. So we were right, it's skulls. I wasn't seeing things after all. The cardstock isn't too bad, actually. It's quite sturdy. It has a matte feel and a matte finish, and that sort of stops it being too shiny, okay, which is great. It's, I won't shuffle it just yet because I want to go through it in order. No, it's fine. The cards sort of slide nicely off one another without being too slippy. So let's have a look. It's a Tarot de Marseille, and here we start. Okay. You have to excuse the patterns from the lamp, but I've put the lamp on in the background so that it shines on the card for you to see, because that one always darkens it. So just go back there. Sorry for interrupting there. So we have our Fool or Il Matto. Il Bagatto is our magician. We can see the skeleton theme coming through here. La Papessa, the High Priestess. Okay. And I do like the vintage style of it. That's the Empress. She actually looks like a tough matriarchal individual, doesn't she? And the Emperor, or I'm not even going to try the pronunciations because I don't want to make a hames of it. And if you note the Roman numerals for the 4, instead of having the I and the V, we've got the 4 I's, which is an alternative way of writing 4. Go. The Hierophant. Wow. And he's quite an intimidating looking guy. That's our lovers, is it? Our lovers there. With our little cherub. Chariot. Kicking up a storm there. Justice. Hermit. The Hermit's very different. He's on crutches. He's taller than anything around him, which would really make him stand out from the crowd. But I suppose that would also give you that feeling, you know, if you're big and, you know, towering above everybody, it can also be quite lonely, because I think people are, you know, sometimes intimidated by that. Here we go, the Wheel of Fortune. That's Rota della Fortuna. La Forteza. Strength. Fortitude, would that be La Forteza? Strength. That puts me in mind of, you know, with the pillars there, the biblical story of Samson and Delilah. Now look at the person here. It's sort of quite masculine looking, leaning against a pillow, so there's strength and long hair, and we have the lion. But it really does give you that Samson feel. It is beautiful. I do like that. La Peso, the Hanged Man. Can you hear the crows? I have the window open here because they fly around just outside here. So La Peso. And here we have the Death card. Was it? Yes. And if you notice, on the Tarot de Marseille, there's no name written on it. It's just card number 13 on the Death card. Look at that. Temperance. La Temperanza. La Temperanza. Il Diavolo is the next one. Il Diavolo. I like the fact that it looks, this looks good to me in the sense it looks like a charcoal and pencil drawing, you know, and it seems to have a feel of more, there's more about it in the sense that, I'm going to put this other lamp on for us. It looks, well, they all look hand drawn. I don't know if they are, but that has the, it's sort of more authentic looking. Yeah. La Torre, the tower. Look at that. How star, there you go, star, La Stella. La Luna, which is the moon. Il Sole, the sun. Il Giudizio, which I think is judgment, Il Giudizio. And Il Mondo, the world. I'm just going to pause there for a minute. I'll be back in a sec. Here I am again. So those are the major arcana. So now you can do a quick flip through those again, so you can see with that other lamp on, you can see the colour a little bit more. and the fact that it's getting lighter in here. They really are lovely cards. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Last night, I did open the box last night, and when I first got it, oh, but do you know, it's because I think it's the way it'd been delivered and just flung on my door. I thought, oh my God, you know, just a little bit annoyed. Now we're coming to the minors. Now, our minors, they're a pip deck, as you would know, being a Marseille deck. So I'm just going to show you a couple of each of the pips so you can get an idea. Isn't it lovely the way the vintage looks like it's worn and it's been handled and used and just I think it's lovely. And of course it's the skeleton theme right the way through. Now I'll just flick over to the quartz. Cavalier di Denari, so that's our Page of Pentacles. Oh no, Knight of Pentacles, sorry. So it's our Knight of Pentacles. We've no page, do we? Hold on, have I skipped one? I skipped one, we do. Fanta de Denari. Fanta di Denari. Cavalier di Denari, which is our Knight. Regina di Denari, our Queen. And the Re di Denari, which is our King. So those are our pentacles or coins, denarii in here. And now we have our cups. So let's get those out. And likewise, I'll do the same sort of thing. I like the aces. The aces have something about them. I like that. Here's our 4. And let's go through to the quartz in cups. So Fanta di Coppa, Cavalier di Coppa, Regina di Coppa, and Re di Coppa. Next we have our swords. And what I like about the swords is that it was one of the cards in this suit that actually drew me to this deck originally. It was Simon on the Hermit's Cave who did a walkthrough of this. I think he had a prototype deck, I'm not sure, but he did a walkthrough of it and shown this particular card, which I'll show you in a second, and that drew me to this. I thought, wow, it's one of the nicest of these cards I've seen. So here we have our Ace of Swords, our 2. It's quite unusual to see the 2 of Swords going through a skull, isn't it? Here we go, the 3 of Swords was this card. And I just thought, wow, that's a less intimidating 3 of Swords. It almost looks like a brooch. But albeit it depicts that 3 of Swords that we know with sort of heartbreak or painful situations, it's almost like wearing it with pride, like a brooch, because this here looks like an award. So it's like you've come through any hurt and any pain, you know, that you are, or if you haven't, you will. And that always reminds me of I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's particularly it would be in the Catholic Church, the Sacred Heart. That's what that looks like, and it just had that feel about it, and it looks like we have a crucifix here. It just has that vibe about it, but it has a wholesome vibe. It's almost an encouraging card in the sense that this may happen, but you will be wearing that badge of pride. You've overcome what's coming your way, or if it's in the past, you have overcome it, and you wear that, you walk around with pride that you have managed to do X, Y, and Z, you know. I just thought that was a more encouraging Three of Swords than we would usually see in a tarot deck. There we go, 4. And I'll just show you the 5 of Swords. Now there's something written on here that I'm hoping I can see, and it says, oh, I'm going to have to, it's Latin I'm sure, and I'm going to have to look that up. Vincit, qui se vincit. Where is it? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Is that lovely? The deck is actually very nice. And I'll show you the quartz now. Fante de Spade. Fante de Spade. Cavalier de Spade. Regina de Spade, or is it de Spade? And Ray de Spade, or Spade. I apologise if my pronunciation is incorrect. And now we're on to our wands and bastoni. So there's our ace. Our 2. 3. 4. And we will skip right over now to the quartz. Fante de Bastoni, Cavalier di Bastoni, and again we have that ready look about it, and that sort of earthy charcoal-like drawing. Regina di Bastoni, and finally Ray de Bastoni. What do I think of the deck? I think I'm actually going to like working with these. Normally, I would be an RWS lover. I am an RWS lover, not normally, I am. But I have to say, to date, I have a few Marseille decks, and I have to be perfectly honest with you, this one is one of my favourites, or is my favourite, not one of my favourites. I do like it. Shuffling, it's nice to shuffle. It shuffles like a deck of playing cards, but with a little bit better quality. It just has that feel about it. And going back to that 3 of Swords, you know, sort of not, you know, I said wearing things with like a badge of pride, what have you, yes, but it's almost like recognition for what you've gone through, for hard work that you've gone through. I'm not going to bend those yet. They're a bit tough to arch when you riffle, so I'm not going to bridge them. I'll just riffle them together. They riffle quite nicely. I think once they're sort of broken in, and that I may try, but I don't want to do that right now because I just don't. So they shuffle very nicely, I have to be honest, and yeah, I do like them. I like them very much. So this is the Tarocchi by Mr Friborg, and I'm going to have a look at some of the cards, some of the writing. You can see now that the sort of night is lifting and I've got the natural light coming in, so you can see more of the colour on the box. I'll just tell you, it says on the back of the box here, published by Arcantum.com. It's the first edition, first printing. Tarocchi by Mr Friborg is a classic 78 card tarot deck consisting of 22 major arcana and 56 minor arcana cards, vintage edition. And I do like it very much. I've got to be honest, I can't read the book very well at all. I do wear glasses, I wear bifocals, but even with my magnifying glass, but that's a bit of a cruddy magnifying glass. Is a great ornament, looks good on your desk, but it is a little bit ineffective. You see what I mean about the distortion? So if I was to look for, where does it say Tarocchi on there? If I'm going to put that there on Tarocchi, you can see how you have to literally move it because it's very distorted. So I will wait till I've got my new magnifying glasses, I've already said, and go through it then. So folks, there you go. Tarocchi by Mr Friborg. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I do. Take care. Have a lovely day, whatever you might be doing today, and stay safe. Bye now.